The call came in on a Tuesday, a routine disturbance. Police officers responded to 722 Leicester Street. Nothing could have prepared them for the scene inside. It was pure horror. Blood painted the walls. Bodies, broken and lifeless, were scattered throughout the house. The air itself felt heavy with the stench of death and the weight of unspeakable acts. This wasn't just a crime scene, it was a slaughterhouse. A place where a family had been brutally extinguished. The officers, hardened by years on the force, struggled to stomach the sight. 6 victims, a family decimated. The brutality was shocking, even to those accustomed to the dark side of humanity. There was a palpable sense of evil that clung to the house. It was in the bloodstains on the floor, the overturned furniture, the eerie silence that spoke volumes of the horrors that had unfolded. This was a place where life had been taken, not with a flicker of mercy, but with a chilling, calculated rage. The house itself seemed to groan under the weight of the tragedy. The once bright paint was peeling, now stained with the grime of the city and the darkness of the crime. It stood as a silent testament to the savagery that humans could inflict upon one another. As investigators began the grim task of piecing together the events of that night, one question echoed through the house and the hearts of those who stood outside. Who could have committed such a heinous act? The investigation quickly led them to a suspect, Jesse Dotson, a man with a troubled past and a chilling connection to the victims. His brother Cecil was among the deceased. Cecil's girlfriend Marissa also lay lifeless in the House of Horrors. 3 others, friends who thought they had found safety within those walls, had their lives brutally cut short. But the depravity didn't end there. 2 of the victims were children, their innocence lost in the most horrific way imaginable. Jesse Dotson had grown up in this house. He knew its creaks and groans, its secrets and vulnerabilities. He had shared meals and laughter with the people he murdered. What could have driven him to commit such an unspeakable act against his own flesh and blood? Investigators pieced together a past riddled with run-ins with the law, a history of violence simmering beneath the surface. Was it a robbery gone wrong, a drug deal turned sour? Or was it something far more sinister, a rage that had been building, waiting for the right moment to explode? The surviving family members, those who somehow escaped the carnage, were left to grapple with the unimaginable. How could someone they loved, someone they shared blood ties with, commit such an atrocity? Their grief was compounded by a chilling realization. The monster who had taken their loved ones was no stranger but someone who had once sat at their table, shared their lives and betrayed their trust in the most devastating way possible. The details of the crime scene, pieced together through forensic evidence and the chilling testimony of a lone survivor, painted a gruesome picture of that fateful night. Dotson, fueled by a toxic cocktail of anger and drugs, had turned on the people closest to him. He had bludgeoned them with a tire iron, a weapon of opportunity that spoke to the impulsive, brutal nature of the attack. He showed no mercy, no hesitation as he took life after life. Among the victims were 2 children, 4-year-old Samario and 2-year-old Cecil Jr. They were innocent, caught in a nightmare they could not possibly comprehend. Dotson didn't spare them. He bludgeoned them along with the others, leaving their tiny bodies broken and battered alongside those who should have protected them. The brutality inflicted upon these children, their lives snuffed out before they had truly begun, shook even the most seasoned investigators to their core. But amidst the carnage, a glimmer of hope emerged. 3-year-old CJ, Cecil Jr.'s brother, had miraculously survived. He had been stabbed in the head and left for dead, buried beneath the bodies of his family, but CJ clung to life. He would later provide chilling testimony, his innocent eyes reflecting the horrors he had witnessed, his small voice delivering the damning evidence that would seal Dotson's fate. The trial of Jesse Dotson sent shockwaves through Memphis and beyond. The brutality of the crime, compounded by the familial connection between killer and victims, left people reeling. CJ's testimony, heartbreaking yet resolute, provided the jury with a chilling account of that horrific night. He identified Dotson as the man who had hurt him and his family, his small voice echoing in the courtroom, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. The jury, faced with the overwhelming evidence and the haunting testimony of a child, delivered a swift verdict: guilty. Dotson was sentenced to 6 consecutive life sentences, a small measure of justice for the 6 lives extinguished. He would spend the rest of his days behind bars, haunted by the consequences of his actions. Despite multiple appeals, claiming his innocence and alleging that CJ's testimony was unreliable, Dotson remained in prison. The courts upheld his conviction, recognizing the weight of the evidence and the veracity of a child's horrifying experience. The impact of that night on Leicester Street continues to reverberate. The house, a constant reminder of the tragedy, stands as a symbol of loss and the enduring power of hope. CJ, the lone survivor, carries the scars of that night, both physical and emotional. But his survival, his courage in the face of unimaginable horror, serves as a testament to the strength of the human spirit. The Leicester Street murders remain a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk within the human heart, but also of the power of resilience and the enduring pursuit of justice.